Chelsea are pushing really hard to try and agree a deal to sign Cucurella from Brighton. As you mentioned, Manchester City were in for him, but City not prepared to pay the asking price. Brighton being very, very firm, saying we want at least £50 million for him. Chelsea are prepared to pay £50 million, and crucially the player himself, although I think he had his heart set on moving to City, I think he's happy to move to Chelsea as well because he can play in the Champions League if he moves to Stamford Bridge. So it looks like that could possibly be another deal that Chelsea get done, because historically as well, Manchester City, even though of course they have very, very rich owners, they don't tend to overpay in the transfer market. They have a valuation on a player, they stick to it. If they don't like the price, they walk away from the deal. Looks like he could be going to Chelsea. Chelsea, of course, still trying to sign Denzel Dumfries as well from Inter. Inter, I think, asking for about €50 million again. That is a lot of money for Denzel Dumfries. I think Inter would be trebling their money on him, having signed him a year ago from PSV.
Had a really good Euros, didn't he?
Yes, very good Euros. But I'm not sure if Chelsea are comfortable with spending €50 million on a player who cost €15 million last summer. Although, contradicting myself, that is exactly what they're willing to do when it comes to Cucurella.
Well, exactly.
Because Cucurella, I think, cost about £15 million last summer. Chelsea now prepared to pay £50 million for him. Also, Fofana, Chelsea still very much in for him. But again, £80 million, I think, is too much as far as they're concerned. Outgoings, Timo Werner looks like he's on his way out of Chelsea. Juventus interested, Leipzig interested, taking him on loan. Kepa looks like he's going to Napoli. Chelsea prepared to pay 75% of his wages to make that loan move happen. And also, of course, Azpilicueta and Alonso. Barcelona have long-term interest in those two players, but relations between Chelsea and Barcelona not perfect at the moment, but the players themselves do want to move.
Really interesting.
I just wonder, just picking up on that, whether Alonso and Azpilicueta's departures might have moved a step closer, given that they are going for players like Cucurella and Denzel Dumfries as well. So is that the domino effect that we love in the transfer?
Really, really interesting summer at Chelsea, isn't it? Completely new regime. We don't know, unless you know more than I do. Well, you do know more than I do. That's why you're here. But I don't imagine you know for certain how much Marina Granovskaya is on the phone as she was available to be as things go on. We don't know exactly how much Todd Boehly himself is involved. But what do you make of what we're seeing from Chelsea this summer?
Well, he seems quite heavily involved, especially, you know, Damesh mentioned the swap factor, and that is something that has infused really all of their talks and all of their discussions with agents and clubs, that, you know, they do have players available and is there trade deals to be done on them. And the thing with Chelsea is they've known which areas they want to strengthen. That has been very specific. They've looked at defenders. They had an 8-man shortlist for defenders at the start of the window, but then it's evolved into pretty much every player that's on the market and available or partially available or is open to a move. Chelsea seem to be in there, and that is obviously a byproduct of change behind the scenes, the takeover happening so close to the transfer window, and Chelsea themselves admitted it's not the most ideal situation to be in, for there to be so much upheaval behind the scenes at the same time when you need to be strengthening and get a head start in the window.